Come along and ride this train. Come along and ride this train. Cross the mountains, prairies, reservations, rivers, levees, plain. Come along and ride this train. Ride this train. Ride this train with me down the rusting rails and the rotting cross ties of yesterday. Down the old forgotten narrow gauge spur lines, forsaken and laying like skeletons, half hidden in sawbriars and dusty ragweeds. They were once shining steel trails where man's most fascinating creation, the locomotive, rumbled across the length and breadth of our great country. With sturdy and skilled hands at the controls, devoted engineers lived by the creed, get her there on time or come to the office and get your time. Hey, here she comes, look at her roll, there she goes, eating that coal. Look at her fly, hey, watch her sail. Let her by, fireball mail. Engineer, making up time, tracks are clear. Oh, look at her climb, see that freight hugging her rail. Bet she's laid, fireball mail. In legend and in song, one man stands head and shoulders above all the other railroad men. His name, Casey Jones. John Luther Jones. Got his nickname from his hometown of Casey, Kentucky, an engineer on the Illinois Central Railroad. He lived in Jackson, Tennessee, on the famed Cannonball Run between Memphis, Tennessee and Canton, Mississippi. You know, people all up and down the line would set their watches when they heard the unmistakable moan of his special-built whippoorwill whistle. There's old Casey, they'd say. He's always on time. Come all you rounders if you want to hear a story about a brave engineer. Casey Jones was the roller's name. On a big eight-wheeler, boys, he rode to fame. Caller called Casey about 4:30. He kissed his wife at the station door. He climbed in the cabin with his orders in his hand, said, this is my trip to the promised land. Casey Jones climbed in the cabin. Casey Jones, orders in his hand. Casey Jones, leaning out the window, taking a trip to the promised land. Here then through South Memphis, yards on the fly. Rain been a-falling and the water was high. Everybody knew by the engine's moan that the man at the throttle was Casey Jones. Well, Jones said, fireman, now don't you fret. Sim Whip said, I ain't a-giving up yet. We're 8 hours late with the southbound mail. We'll be on time or we leaving the rail. Casey Jones climbed in the cabin. Casey Jones, orders in his hand. Casey Jones, leaning out the window, taking a trip to the promised land. Well, ahead on the rails was a passenger train, and the blood was boiling in Casey's brain. Casey said, hey, look out ahead. He said, jump, Sam, jump, or we'll all be dead. With a hand on a whistle and a hand on a brake, North Mississippi was wide awake. I see railroad officials said he's a good engineer to be a laying dead. Casey Jones climbed in the cabin. Casey Jones, orders in his hand. Casey Jones, leaning out the window, taking a trip to the promised land. Headaches and heartaches and all kind of pain, they're all a part of a railroad train. Oh Lord, the sweat and toil and the good and the grand, They're a part of the life of the railroad man. Casey Jones climbed in the cabin. Casey Jones, orders in his hand. Casey Jones, leaning out the window, taking a trip to the promised land. Whether our railroading heroes were fact or fiction, they served us with a source of great inspiration. They pointed toward a desire to be courageous and unfaltering in the face of danger. Many brave men have died unheralded and unsung. Heroes lie in unmarked resting places throughout the land. Their valiant deeds heedless and forgotten. Others take their places among the immortals, living forever in legend and in song. Such a man was Casey Jones. Casey Jones climbed in the cabin. Casey Jones, orders in his hand. Casey Jones, leaning out the window, taking a trip to the promised land. Good night, everybody down Jackson. Good night, kids.